So some of you may know, and some of you probably don't. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. For years, I've kind of wanted to say something, but I just didn't know what words to say. Um, but this year, I I feel like it's my time to add my voice to the conversation, and so um, just because I'm not exactly sure exactly how to say everything. I hope it comes out well, and I hope that someone will be blessed or positively impacted by the words I say. But I've written these words down just so if you see me looking down, that's what I'm doing, is just trying to look at my notes and make sure that I get everything in that I wanted to say. So something that some of you know and some of you don't know about me personally is that um, I struggle with depression. I've struggled with depression really my whole life. Um, some of you, like I said, some of you know that and some of you don't. Um, Earlier in my earlier years, I didn't really share that with anyone. Anyone who knows me more recently knows that I've become a lot more comfortable with sharing my personal battle. Um, so the thing is, it's one of those things that is widely really invisible. I think that if I haven't told you, probably a lot of you would have missed it um, because I do try to be a smiley, laughy guy. Try to goof around, and a lot of people who are suffering from different mental illnesses, it can be the same. They can hide it, maybe not intentionally, but um, nevertheless, it can be absolutely invisible. Uh, and so I think the first thing I would have to say is just, in general, just try and be kind and supportive to everyone you meet because you really don't know just what they're going through and what personal battles they're going through. That being said, um, specifically when it comes to people with mental health, people who um, come out with mental health issues, uh, there's three things that I would really say to you about that. The first thing is just be supportive. Um, when someone tells you that they're struggling with their mental health, they're having a really hard time, and um, it's really hard to put into words just how bad things might be. For me, personally, I've been at the point um, multiple times in my life where just the just that I was struggling so much that even the thought of just getting out of bed to go to work, to go to school, uh, was so stressful that I found it hard to even breathe, um, let alone get up out of bed and prepare myself for the day, go through the day, try and do those normal everyday things that most people, what you're expected to do. Um, and so it's really hard to put all that into words. And as a result, like I've personally flunked out of college twice. I've lost multiple jobs just because my mental health was in such a state that I just couldn't do those things. And so when someone comes to you with those hard times, they they just need your support, your love. They need to know that there is a community around them that does love them, that does support them. Just telling people that you love them, that you support them, that you're ready to be there for them, that is so impactful. For me, I was nearly 20 years old when I came out and told my parents that I was struggling with depression and some of the other mental health issues that I struggle with. But the depression really, um, and it's because it's hard. It's hard to trust people. It's hard to know um, how to tell people that you're struggling. And so when someone does come to you and they trust you, just please reward that with all of your love and support. And one of the most supportive things that you can do It's just asking questions, believe it or not, asking questions. Um, and one of the most impactful questions that some of my friends have asked me is, "How can I support you?" And you would not believe how much that means to me, because everyone is different, and uh, so letting that person tell you exactly what they need, um, that's how you're going to make the most impact on them. They're going to tell, as long as you're have shown them that you love them, that you support them, and whatever they need, they can ask for. That is going to be so powerful. Um, my second thing to say is just we need to start normalizing conversations about mental health, conversations about how we're feeling. I know growing up as a kid, society, we uh, weren't really good about that. And the last few years, I think at least the last decade especially, um, the public has gotten so much better about that. But we still have a long ways to go. And so I think that just normalizing that it's okay to talk about your feelings, that it's okay to talk about what's going on in your life, um, to be open about your struggles. Um, you know that 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 is so powerful. One of my least favorite questions that I get, that you hear pretty commonly, is, "How are you doing?" And the expected answer is always just, "Good, I'm fine," etc. Uh, you know, um, when really for me the answer a lot of times would be, "I'm doing horrible. I'm absolutely struggling. I need so much." And so I think that just making that normal and make that acceptable, um, is hugely powerful. Um, and when it comes to conversations about our feelings, one thing I'd recommend is as tempting as it is, probably don't try and give advice. Believe it or not, unless you're a mental health professional, um, because a lot of times, believe it or not, that advice, as well-meaning as it is, um, it can be really harmful. Um, I've had, as a person of faith, I've had people try and tell me, "Hey, you need to be praying more." People have told me, "Hey, you're not eating well enough. You're not exercising. You need to be doing this, that, and the other thing." And it's like, well, yeah, but sometimes it's things that, like, yeah, I know that. I don't have the emotional energy or capacity to start that. And so all you're doing is overwhelming me, with things that I should be doing. Um, and so what can actually be a lot more helpful is just listening. Just listening. I mean, it is so therapeutic just to talk, for, to be able to let our emotions out, to be able to express to someone just how I'm feeling, um, and just that I'm deeply sad, or whatever, to be able to express to someone that today I felt like crying and I didn't know why, you know, um, and just being able to put that into words and to have someone listen, and as I said, in the first part, and just to support, um, that's so powerful. Um, One of the things that you can do is you can gently encourage someone to go to therapy. That is one of the things that but gently encourage. Understand though that everyone is at a different place in their life, um, at a different place in their battle with mental health. Um, like I said, for me, I've been it's been my entire life I've been battling, and I have attempted to go to therapy a few times, and um, many of the times though people have tried to encourage me to go to therapy, and I just wasn't ready. I just wasn't ready, and that therapy wouldn't have been valuable to me because I wasn't ready. Um, and so even though it's been a lifelong battle, it was only in November that I started to consistently go to therapy, and it has been helpful. But it's been helpful because I'm ready, um, and so just understand that when you do encourage someone, that they're not always gonna be ready, and so just continuing just that support and gentle, like I said, gentle encouragement for that therapy. Um, and the last thing I have to say is just try and support research, raising awareness. You know, obviously, not all of us can like financially support the research being done, but obviously the research does need to be done, and so just promoting any of that research if you know about any research, and just raising awareness, making it more well known just how much of a epidemic mental health disorders really are. Um, so I should know this statistic, but I want to say it's roughly um, half of the population will at some time battle some sort of mental health issue, and for the majority of those people, it will just be it'll be a one-time thing. But then there are also some of us who are chronic sufferers, and just the numbers would be absolutely surprising. And so that's one of the things that people need to be aware of, to be aware that that it is normal to go through that, because that also makes it feel like you're less of an alien, or that you're just unique, that you're alone. People need to know that they're not alone, that there's plenty of other people in the world who are suffering like them, and what they're going through is so normal. Um, one of the things that has been learned in some of the research, one of the common detrimental terms or things that is used, um, is saying, "I know how you feel," um, and I know that absolutely comes uh, from a place of good intentions, but a lot of times you really can't know just how someone's feeling, even if even if you suffer from the same disorders as them. Actually, just saying, I empathize with you. And I appreciate you telling me. I appreciate you speaking to me. But using things like don't know how you that don't say I know how you feel, because once again that can be very detrimental. Um, and just remember, everyone is different. Um, at this point, I think I've kind of covered my 3 topics, but just letting you know, for me, I do appreciate prayers, being someone of faith. If you're not someone of faith, I just appreciate positive thoughts, positive words. Those always mean a lot to me. A lot of folks don't like to hear, "Oh, I'm praying for you," or whatnot. But for me, that hearing those words is really impactful, and so I do appreciate that personally. And the last thing I really want to say is, if you've been impacted by this, if you feel like my words have meant something to you, or if you think that someone else could positively benefit from the message that I'm trying to get out here, please feel free to share this. Please, 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 please feel free to share this with anyone, because just the world needs to hear more stories like mine. We need to be sharing with each other, so that we can create a community of love and support for one another. Thank you.